We left off with Batman officially forming his team of heroes to stop Superman. Following this, Cyborg picks up a broadcast from Metropolis, consisting of the words, "I'm alive," being repeated over and over. Superman wants to investigate, but the team senses a trap. Realizing they're not going to stop him, Wonder Woman and Lantern offer to go with him. The three find that the signal is coming from underneath a building. Wonder Woman and Superman investigate and find an underground bunker. When they open it up, they find that Lex Luthor is inside. Lex had a speedster on payroll, tasked with bringing Lex to this bunker in the event of a disaster. He expresses his wish to help Superman with his agenda. The team isn't too optimistic at first, but through some subtle blackmailing, they agree. We then fast forward to the insurgency kidnapping Hawkgirl as she was carrying out a mission on her own. The regime rendezvous at the Watchtower, and after some talking and brainstorming, Luthor deduces that Batman is behind this. He starts to pitch an idea of creating a worldwide police force, when suddenly, Hawkgirl appears. But then we see that Hawkgirl is still being detained by Batman. The Hawkgirl at the Watchtower said Batman let her go to relay a message. Stop what they're doing. Some team members begin to express some of the discontent they've been feeling, but Damian tells everyone they're falling right into Batman's plan, which is to create unrest within the unit. Luthor agrees and cooler heads prevail. We then cut to the planet Apokolips, where Darkseid's son Kalibak asks for permission to attack Earth. He feels he could conquer it now since Superman is their leader and refuses to kill. Darkseid grants him permission, and Kalibak and his army invade Paris, where the regime is holding a press conference. Kalibak quickly realizes he fucked up when Superman proceeds to beat the brakes off of him. Superman subdues him and demands he call off the invasion. Kalibak tells him to kiss his ass more or less, and that he knows Superman is not willing to kill him, so he's going to continue letting his armies invade all over the globe. He opens another boom tube, which brings about more of his army, and together they all mob Superman and hold him down. All the while, Kalibak is talking shit. After some dramatic tension, Superman shows Kalibak and his lackey what time it is and releases a great burst of energy, getting everybody off of him. All of Kalibak's army in that space is eradicated, but Kalibak survives. He tries to surrender, but this time Superman is not having it and proceeds to beat his ass and humiliate him. He then has a brief conversation with the Flash. This officially completes Superman's heel turn. Then he does some ridiculous Supermanly thing that only he can do and destroys all of Kalibak's army worldwide in one fell swoop. After this, he is celebrated all over the globe like he was before. Later, we see Lex Luthor hard at work on something at the Fortress of Solitude. We find out that he and Superman are developing a superhuman pill. Lex and Supes break the news to the team, and it's met with mixed reaction, with Robin being the most emphatic of his disapproval. He steals a sample of the pill and heads to the Batcave. Here, I assume he thought he was going to be able to get in and out of the cave without being detected, but Alfred and Batman spot him right away. Batman begins to try and talk with Damian, but Damian lashes out at him. Somebody places their hand on Damian in an attempt to calm him down, and after they disobey a warning, Robin turns around and strikes Alfred, sending him flying into the Batcomputer. Batman immediately attempts to hit Robin, but gets reversed and knocked into the giant penny that's in the Batcave. It begins to fall, but Hawkgirl comes out of nowhere and stops it. Damian doesn't think Hawkgirl is strong enough to do that, and believes Hawkgirl has been acting weird since she reappeared. He detonates an incendiary grenade, and sure enough, Martian Manhunter is revealed to have been masquerading as Hawkgirl the entire time. Damian manages to escape and tells the regime about Manhunter. Superman decides he's going to publicly expose Batman as Bruce Wayne. He first attempts to live broadcast from the Watchtower, but when Batman senses what he is about to do, he cuts off all the power from the Watchtower. Through the help of Cyborg, Luthor, and Damian Wayne, Superman is able to tweet this message and it instantly goes viral. The Watchtower power is still down and descends back into Earth, and of course the regime makes sure that it lands safely. The regime head over to the Batcave in order to retrieve Hawkgirl. Batman meets them just outside and tells them that he let Hawkgirl go. Cyborg and Luthor transmit to confirm this as they stay behind to repair the tower. Batman suggests they go, but the regime refuses. Batman suddenly launches into flight, and the regime realizes it's Manhunter. Superman, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern give chase to him. Manhunter is able to briefly isolate Superman and attempts to change his mind, but Diana interrupts this. Manhunter infiltrates her body with his shape-shifting abilities and begins to strangle her organs. She demands Superman burn her, which he does, and this results in Martian Manhunter releasing the hold he had over her and falling from the sky. Batman reveals to the team that Manhunter is dead, but he has information on Superman and Lex working on some superhuman tech, which they have stored at the Fortress of Solitude. Batman has the president create a distraction in Korea in order to give the insurgency a chance to take the tech without resistance. Batman takes Captain Atom, Black Canary, Catwoman, and after initially telling him to stay behind, Green Arrow, and they head over to the fortress. They're able to break into the fortress while Superman shows up at the White House. He starts to tell the president to stop wasting his time and call off the advance towards Korea, but he realizes it's all a farce and rushes back to the fortress. Once inside, the insurgency sees that Superman actually has his parents in the Fortress of Solitude, and Batman says they need to get out of there. Superman then arrives, and him and Captain Atom begin to duke it out. During their fight, collateral damage is caused to the fortress's ceiling, which causes ice to fall and form a wall. The wall separates Canary, Batman, and Catwoman with an exit from Superman's parents and Green Arrow, who are trapped inside the fortress. Before Bats, Cats, and Canary leave, Batman tells Arrow to use the locator he gave him once he gets out. Meanwhile, Captain Atom gets the upper hand on Superman when suddenly Wonder Woman comes to help. She hits Atom with her sword and he begins radiating. He tells her she stopped the only thing that was containing his body from exploding with the strength of 10 nukes. He has to release this energy but wants to do it somewhere safe. He then carries Superman all the way up to space, with Wonder Woman giving chase to them before Atom explodes. Superman survives the explosion, but Wonder Woman is seriously hurt. Flash arrives to take her to get medical attention. Superman then makes his way into the Fortress of Solitude. Green Arrow tries to get out of the situation in a few ways and eventually tries to shoot Superman. Unfortunately, the arrow ricochets off of Superman and lands in Superman's father. Superman then kills Arrow, but just before then, Ollie manages to shoot out a sample of the superhuman pill, which Batman is able to retrieve via the locator he gave Ollie. Batman then goes to the cave to synthesize the pill, and Superman shows up shortly thereafter. Not realizing that he's actually arrived in time, Superman allows Batman to stall him long enough for the process to complete. Once it does, Batman attempts to grab a sample, but Superman grabs him first and then breaks his back. Batman tells Superman that he effed up and the pill synthesized anyway, so there's still hope. He continues to taunt Superman over and over again, and then the comic does something really cool. It cuts to where the pill was originally and shows that it's no longer there. Alfred suddenly shows up and gets Superman's attention. He appears friendly at first before headbutting Superman, then proceeds to beat him into a bloody pulp. It turns out he ended up taking the pill that Batman was reaching for. Alfred escapes with Batman via teleport. The next day, Superman holds another press conference, this time unveiling his new super army. That concludes Injustice Year 1. As you can see, this series doesn't care about killing well-liked characters and shuffling the deck. It's part of what makes it an extremely great story to read, and I have to say, the entire Injustice series is one I couldn't put down until it was finished. Stay tuned for Year 2, which brings us many more great surprises, including Superman taking counsel from an unlikely ally. That's coming this Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. I also have another surprise video coming for you guys this week. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and feel free to make any requests for anything you want me to cover. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Gorilla City.